Hey nerds, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to do a NerdyMoMo Monday review of the new My Hero Academia Heroes Rising. Okay, so I would like to start off this video by saying everything I'm going to give in this review is just my personal opinion. I am into My Hero. I have not read the manga. I don't go and look things up and read into episodes and events and characters and things like that. I just watch what's presented in the anime and in this movie, and I go with it. So I may be missing stuff, I may be forgetting stuff, you know, so on and so forth. I'm not like a super immersed like anime geek who knows every little detail. So if something's off, don't yell at me in the comments. These are just my thoughts and opinions. Now, with all that being said, I would like to say I thought this movie was fan-freaking-tastic. This second My Hero movie was much better than the first one in my opinion. The first one was okay. It was a bit slow. The action was kind of so-so, and it was only at the very end of the movie. But this movie, halfway through, you get hit with some action. The first half was a little slow, not super slow. It was really cute to see, you know, the kids in a different element and helping people and stuff like that, and just some like regular day-to-day stuff. But when the action hit, So at the beginning of the movie, like I said, it's super cool to see, you know, the young heroes interacting with the townspeople. We get to learn, you know, why they're there, and they're running their own hero agency, which I thought was really dope. And like, it showed how well they worked together as a class, because the way that they were organizing the phone calls and sending people out and doing all this work was super dope. And then we got to see a lot of the townspeople, them coming to bring them the food and cooking with love and all that kind of stuff to show their appreciation was also really dope. And then we get introduced to the two main young characters. Katsuma is like a little Deku in my opinion. Like, my man's is always crying about something, or at least like looking so sad and like so awestruck. And that reminds me so much of Deku from season 1. And his sister was wildin'. She hated Deku and thought he was so slow, and I thought that was hilarious. Seeing her try to mess with them to like show her little brother that heroes suck just because she's worried. And then the way they kept doing those like cutbacks to older episodes or stuff that happened previously in the episode was really helpful. Another thing that was kind of fun but also really weird to see was Bakugo's interactions with Deku and then the rest of his classmates. So of course Bakugo is gonna be Bakugo. You guys know how I feel about him. But he is much nicer in this movie as compared to like how he normally is. I'm personally not sure how I feel about that, because I'm not a big fan of like I'm a big fan of growth, but I'm not a big fan of like a jerk growing into like the super nice guy that everybody likes because he's come so far from being a total jerk. Like, just don't be a jerk to begin with. I don't know. So I have mixed feelings, because it is nice to see him not being like as hurtful and ruthless to Deku all the time. But I don't want to like him now. I don't like him yet, but I just don't want that to come about. So there were two major like fight sequences in the movie. The first one was when the villains first arrive. That opening of their presence was super dope, because like as soon as they got off the ship, Slice is like blowing up all the other ships, shooting all her little hair spikes. Her powers are super dope, and the way that she was just blowing things up and like wreaking this havoc was really amazing. That leads me to how I feel about these villains in this movie. They are dope! The only villain that was a little sucky was Mummy. Mummy got captured so quickly. I mean, I understand that, you know, Bakugo is Bakugo and he's a badass, but as soon as Bakugo got mad, my man's got destroyed. And his powers were like the least awesome out of all of the villains anyways. Yeah, I don't know. So it kind of made sense that he got taken out quick. I thought there was going to be more to it with him being captured. I didn't know, but they just kind of like wrapped him up quick. Wrapped him up, Mummy. And then moved on to the next villain. They made reference to him being in the basement and yada yada, but they moved on. And then we see Beast fighting on the beach with people, and just seeing his raw power was intense. I love seeing like a super strong fighter, like villain or hero. And it's kind of sucky when they can just like demolish everybody in an instant. So it was cool to see how powerful he was, but not him trying to just like completely obliterate everything in one fell swoop. Because I feel like he probably could have in that scene on the beach. And then we kind of get to see Slice. Not really. We mostly only see Slice at the beginning. But we see her when she comes and saves Nine. Nine is a little bitch. Nine's powers are dope on their own, like him controlling the weather. That's a cool power, like a cool quirk to have in general. But the fact that he is like an all-for-one kind of, and he can like steal people's powers, and he can only steal up to 8 in addition to his own. That whole setup was weird, and he just a little punk because he needed everybody else's powers. But him wielding all those powers was dope. Him electrocuting Bakugo and Deku was really cool. Him like summoning these what was it? It was kind of like a dragon snake thing. I don't even know what it was. But like, him using those was really cool to fight with those as an extension. And his air shield was pretty cool. You can do all kinds of stuff with like air and just that resistance and stuff, that force. That's dope. But like the flashy stuff was super cool. And it does suck that his cells are deteriorating, so like he can't go full out. But if he could go full out, like it would be a wrap. The kids would not be able to hold him back. So during all this little fighting and stuff, like it really starts to show at this point in the movie that the type of team ups that the kids do is super important. Because I think, who was it? I can't think of everybody's name. The Invisible Girl, the dude I hate with the with the purple balls, Mineta, and Naval Laser dude. I can't think of his name either. Their team up was atrocious against Mummy. They were getting whooped. So seeing like who matches up is super important, and like knowing whose quirks work well together and stuff like that is something that I didn't necessarily consider, because certain people's abilities don't seem as useful. It depends on the situation. Kind of like Gravity, her just being able to like make things float is useful. It's not the best in like hand-to-hand combat type thing, long-range combat, but to like help people, carry people, the way stuff she did later on that I'm going to talk about, like all that stuff is really useful. So like knowing their quirks and who works well together was also really cool to see. But then the major fight sequence happened, and that was like the icing of the whole movie, because this is where we really get to see people's collabs and how important it is. And they like broke it up into like 4 waves. The first one where they split them up, and then where they had Slice, and where they had Beast, and where they had Nine in the main battle. All of that was so dope. So first with Slice. Slice's battle was a little interesting. It kind of seemed to go pretty fast. Like, as she was fighting Tokoyami, like, she didn't seem as badass as I originally thought. But she was whooping tail at first. But then when Tokoyami saw his friend get hurt and he just went like total beast mode, like I was like, oh yeah, he about to mess some stuff up. He got that ass. So that was really cool. And then the fight with Beast to me was my favorite, because seeing his power was just like mind-blowingly awesome. And when he really transformed into the Beast, like that was out of this world. My man was so strong, and he had so many animal parts attached to him. Like, that was his abilities were just amazing. He started shooting laser beams out of his mouth. Like, it was dope. And then the way that they collabed to like take him down was really awesome. And it's always great to see Todoroki like, using some of his skill set that he's learned from his dad, even though he applied it to his eyesight. And he had to freeze that man from the inside out. That's how strong he was. But that's how awesome like the team up and like the special move that they decided to do was. Like, it really worked. It tore them all up, but it worked. And it was just overall cool to see that fight scene. And then the last fight scene was with Nine, and it just seemed like Nine would never die. Like, he just always seemed to have more power and more power. Like, what happened to his cells deteriorating? Were those little thingies in his back, like, something to help improve his cells quickly, like, in an instant? Because that kind of confused me a little bit. I wasn't sure what those were. But he just kept going, like, beyond plus ultra, basically. Like, beyond his physical abilities, it seemed like. And just, like, kept fighting and kept fighting. And then if this next stupid part never happened, he definitely would have won. Can we talk about this transfer of One for All from Deku to Bakugo? Because me no understand still. I don't get it. How did he transfer his ability just by them linking hands? Like, I tried to think a lot about it because when Deku got his power from All Might, he had to ingest his hair. Like, he had to ingest a part of All Might in order for, like, the powers to enter his body or whatever, what have you. So I was thinking, like, okay, when Bakugo and Deku first touched fingers, did, like, some of Deku's blood get in Bakugo or something? But I don't know if that counts as ingesting a part of him. I don't know. I feel like he would have had to, like, swallow the blood or something. I don't know. And so when they locked hands and the power got transferred, I was like, what the heck is going on? This doesn't make sense. Like, it was super cool to see two jacked out, like, you know, Deku and Bakugo with this full cowl, but, like, make it make sense. If you understand, make it make sense in the comments. Don't yell at me about it. Just help me understand. Seeing them all jacked up was super weird too, because it definitely gave me Dragon Ball Z vibes, and this is my hero. My hero, don't copy DBZ now. That's definitely what it was giving me, like, throughout this team up. Although their teamwork, phenomenal. The first time they fought Nine, like, during this main battle, all of it, their teamwork just seems so effortless, and, like, that was really cool to see. Seeing them fight together is awesome. Seeing Bakugo be nicer, not so much. But fighting, totally dope. So, although I'm not a fan of, like, the transfer of One for All, I understand it, and it was cool to see them fighting full cowl, and Bakugo handled the power so easily. Like, it was no big deal to fight with. I mean, he was breaking limbs and stuff and went unconscious, but it was kind of cool. And then the next biggest thing I had a problem with was when All Might showed up and Deku told him that he transferred One for All to Bakugo, and All Might was like, oh, it's back in his body. What happened? And he's thinking about it like, so the past holders can manipulate it and choose who it goes to, or who keeps it and who doesn't get it? So does that mean if when Deku, like, gets older and he decides somebody else should be the successor, like, they could be like, nah, we don't like them and snatch it back? Like, that was confusing. And the fact that Bakugo didn't remember that he even got the power and all of that was, I don't know, that was super weird. It was super weird. But a quick funny moment when they showed Endeavor hugging Todoroki because he was so happy he was alive and stuff. That was cute. I like those fun little things that they dropped in throughout the movie. Those were cute and nice to see. And then super duper last, we see my man's Shigaraki taking Nine out instantly. Like, he showed up, he said a couple of words to him, and then he was like, yeah, there'll only be one. Disintegrate. And I was like, dang! Nine was that much of a throwaway. I guess he just needed to see, like, how well somebody inheriting, like, All for One's abilities would go. And since it was very, like, doable and sustainable, I guess that's all the info he needed. So now Shigaraki is going to become the new All for One or something like that. That's what I'm assuming. But it was cool to see him come back into the movie and to see sort of the interaction of, like, other characters and stuff at the beginning, and then just, like, a droplet in the middle. And they weren't the main focus of the movie, but it was cool to see it all tied together and incorporated. But all in all, those are my thoughts on the movie. I thought the movie was freaking awesome. I would give it, like, an 8.5 or 9 out of 10. Of course, it's not perfect because, like I said, there are a few things that I had a problem with, but Overall, loved it. I actually saw the movie twice. I saw the movie the day it came out on Wednesday. I drove through a blizzard to go watch it because I had already pre-ordered my ticket. And then I just saw it again yesterday, which is Friday, because I wanted to kind of rewatch it, take some extra notes, you know, really ingest the movie and how much I enjoyed it. And I still freaking loved it. It was a really awesome movie. So if you're on the fence about going to see it, you should. And if you haven't seen it and you're not going to catch it while it's in theaters, make sure you check it out once it's on some sort of digital media, or buy it on DVD. I will definitely be buying on DVD to add with my Two Heroes movie. But that's going to do it for me in this video, guys. If you like this video, feel free to hit that thumbs up button down below. And while you're down there, let me know in the comment section, what do you think of this movie? Give me a brief synopsis of like your review of the movie. Let's talk about it. If you're new to my channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can stay in the know of all the nerdy, and hit that bell notification. And be sure to share this video and my channel with anybody that you think may enjoy. But as always, guys, remember, keep it nerdy.